Alright, today you are back with Randy Hubbard at jewelryrepairshop.com. We're at Staples Jewelry, located in Louisville, Kentucky. Phone number 502-425-2302. And now we are going to work on putting this head on this mounting and setting this stone, which is a carat 66. And now it does have a little chip on the side of it there, but the customer's aware of it. And we're just going to put it up underneath the prong so it don't show. So, let's get the show started. Let me zoom my camera around here so you can see my actual, where we're working at. Alright, now we're ready to get the show started. Let's start. Alright, first thing we're going to do, we're going to take this mounting and we're going to solder this head on there. It looks like it fits right down to the spot. So we're going to assemble it just like that. So we're going to pull that back off of there. We're going to clamp that down to where it don't move on us. Like so. Then I'm going to get rid of all this dust and dirt right here. So I need a nice clean weld. Don't need no dirt in my solder. So I'm going to cut off a couple pieces of solder there, and we're going to begin the weld. Take my torch. You got to really be careful though. There's, on a ring like this right here, there's a lot of little filigree inside there, and that filigree will burn just like that in a flash. So you just heat it up, get in and out. Don't keep that torch on there. You got to keep the torch away from, keep it flowing, keep it moving. Oh Lord, we got us a nut over here. See her? She's getting ready to burn her head.
He just learned last week how to do that.
She has to be on the camera. She's a movie star. She's been on Secretariat. She's the little lady all the way in the crowd up there at the top row.
Nah, don't be telling everybody my secrets. Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, let's get started. Enough with the fun and the games. I'm going to use some self-battering Pickling flux. I showed it to you in one of the other videos. But that's to keep your metals clean. It helps protect them. It makes the solder flow. Because your solder won't flow if you don't use a little flux on it, because it'll turn black and it just won't flow. So I'll put that on the spot where I'm welding it to, and I'll put it on the base of my head right there. Then I take the head with my tweezers and I'll ball up the solder, and I'll pick the solder up on the bottom of the head. And there's a reason why I do that. The reason is because I want the solder to flow along the bottom here and the bottom here, because I want the joints to be nice and solid. I don't want no gaps where this head, where if somebody bangs it, like she's wearing it and she was to bang it against something, it would come loose. So I want to make sure that that solder flows all the way through there, and it flows up to the base of this head right here. Now we're going to heat it up. Like I said, keep your torch moving. Make sure you heat the head up evenly, along with your base. And voila, it's in there, but it's crooked. Now we're going to have to straighten it out. I have to twist it around a little bit, this way or that way. turn this down a little bit. I got a little hot there. Give it just a little turn there. And I'm going to pick it up and see how far I'm off. A lot of times I'll put it on something nice and flat, that way I can see whether it's leaning too much this way or if it's needs to go this way or this way, which it needs to be moved a little bit both ways. So I'm going to heat it up again. Now since it's on a nice flat spot, and I'm going to twist it around a little bit. Gotta make sure it looks nice and straight. And sometimes these mountings are not actually carved good and straight. Sometimes they're a little crookedy looking. So you just kind of have to sometimes judge it a little bit by, you know, what you think, because like I said, they're not always perfect. It might be a little thicker on one side, a little carved, a little crooked on the other. So you just kind of got to balance it out to where it looks the best. Okay. Alright, I guess we're going to go with that. We're pretty good. Not perfectly, but it's as good as it's going to get for that mounting. So now I'm going to put that in some acid, let it soak for a minute or two, and then we're going to get it out of the acid and we're going to scratch brush it. Now we're just going to let it soak for a minute or two. Then I'm going to get it out of there, and then we're going to scratch brush it. We're going to use this little wheel right here, and we're going to take off the most fire coatings we can get off of it. So I'll be right back. Alright. There it is. Now, just watch right here. See the fire coating on the sides of it there? Well, see the other side, that side there, this might look a little tarnished, but it ain't got all that red and yellow and all them other colors. Now, as you can see, along the base of there, it's got a really good weld. You can probably see a little bit of solder along that actual base down in there. So you want it good and solid. And then if you look on the inside there, there's a good weld on the inside. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to take a little wheel here and we're going to grind that off on the inside. We're going to get rid of that little nub. There's a little nub there, and we're going to get rid of that little nub on the inside there. Take that wheel there, grind off the nub with that cylinder burr, one I showed you in the previous videos. Then we're going to take this Cretex wheel, use it on the inside there, get it nice and slick and smooth again. There's the inside of that where we kind of grinded that little nub off. Alright, next thing we got to do is we got to polish that head. We got to get that head shiny because when we set that stone it'll be harder to get inside there with the stone in it. So, with that being said, I'm going to get a polishing wheel, a little polishing brush, and we're going to hand polish this. Use a little brush about like that right there. Then I get a tube of this. This is called Fabulustre. It's a polisher. It cuts, shines, takes out scratches, and it shines, does a little bit of everything. It's kind of like a universal compound. We're going to use it, get a little bit on the brush right there. Now we're going to hand polish in between them prongs. A little shine down in there. You don't want to be careful. You don't want to cut no gouges. You don't want to cut no gouges on nothing, so you just want to kind of shine it up in there. And by the way, in case I haven't told you, I'm going to tell you again. My name's Randy Hubbard. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. JewelryRepairShop.com. I work at Staples Jewelry, 502-425-2302. Got roughly 36 years, 37 years experience. Been doing this ever since I was a kid, pretty much. It was a family business I got into. My uncle was a jeweler. He taught me the trade. Passed it on down to me. Now I'm passing it on down to my son. My uncle has since went out of business and decided to retire. So I ended up working here for Staples Jewelry now. Been here for probably about 12 or 13 years. Plan on retiring here. We do all kinds of work. Custom modifications on rings. We'll cut out centers. You'll be seeing some of our new videos here in the future where I'm going to do some custom stuff, cutting out things and different type of work like that. Modifying it, we'll put different heads in it to take a little ring, turn it into a big ring, and put different stones in the centers. We do a little bit of it all. Alright, we just about got this ready. Got a little fire coating here on this one side I got to get out, so I'm going to take a little something and pick it out by hand. Another little bit of fire coating. Try to get all that fire coating off. We have a couple different websites here. Mine is jewelryrepairshop.com. Now the store's is staplesjewelers.com. So in case you're needing any jewelry, you can contact us through staplesjewelry.com. If you're interested in watching any repair work, you just go to thejewelryrepairshop.com. and you'll find me. Alright. Now we're ready to set the stone. I'm going to throw it in the ultrasonic for just a minute. Ultrasonic is what we use to clean jewelry with. It actually takes all the black off of it and everything, and pretty much just a cleaner is all it is. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm right back. That didn't take long. Our steamer and cleaner is really quick. We keep it at about 200 degrees. It cleans really quick. So now, I'm ready to set this big carat 66 stone. So I'm gonna have to break out the big burr on this one. I'll be right back 1 second. I'm gonna get another box of burrs. There's some burrs. Come in a box like that. Stoller sells them. Alright, there's the burr I'm gonna use right here. And I'm gonna cut me some notches on the side of them prongs to set that stone in. So, y'all ready? Let's go. Yeah, gonna have to get a little bit smaller of a burr. All right. Alright, we cut some grooves in there. As you can see the little grooves I cut in there? That stone, it's going to set right down in them little grooves. See, I kind of made some notches there, and that stone just kind of sits right in them little grooves. Now I'm going to clamp it down. Get out my tweezers here, my squeeze pliers. Call them what you want to call them. So I'm going to do 1, 2. I'm going to squeeze from this side, and then I'm going to squeeze from the opposite side. Then I'm going to go over here to here. So it's 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. Now I don't want to squeeze down too much because I don't want to bust the stone. So you don't put like a lot of pressure on it. You just put enough pressure on it to where you're clamping down on it. You're not really squeezing down on it. You're just kind of pushing your metal down on it. And this stone, it's got a chip that we're going to be covering up. So I got to put the stone where that little chip's going to be underneath the prong. Then I'll eyeball it just to make sure it looks straight, make sure the prongs is over on the stone and it looks good before I get finished with it. Yeah, I want to make sure that chip is underneath that prong. Alright, so far everything looks good. Tighten it down a little bit more. I'll just kind of work my way around it. Then I'll take the stone, I'll hold it like that. Wouldn't advise doing it to a colored stone, but a diamond's tough. I'll see it's got a little jiggle in it. So I want to clamp it down just a little bit more. They got rid of that jiggle. Now I don't have that jiggle. So now I'm going to eyeball it again to make sure them prongs are down on that stone good and tight. Alright, so there's what it's looking like so far. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth them prongs out, and then I'm going to run a cup burr over them, give them a little rounded edges on it. So on this one, I'm going to use a file to get it nice and flat with the top of the stone, because it's such a big stone. That's the reason why I'm doing it like that. Now the top of that stone, if you notice them prongs are really square. Well, I'm going to make them round. I'm going to give them a round edge on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cup burr. Cup burr is made like that right there. See the end of that? It's like a little cup on the end of it. And it'll give them prongs a little rounded look. Of course, your cup burr's got to fit the prong. It can't be too little, it can't be too big. It's got to be just the right size where it just kind of goes over the prong. See, now if you notice, there'll be a little lip right there. Little lip right there on the edge of that prongs. So, but now we got the prongs where they're nice and round looking on top, but it's got that little edge. We're gonna take this little wheel right here, and we're gonna take that little edge off of there. See, got one of these wheels right here again. It's a Kratex wheel, about 100 grit. Just kind of round them prongs out there on the sides.
So you grab the truck or the Toyota? Okay.
Yeah.
Truck or the Toyota? Which one do you grab?
Toyota.
Alright.
Why?
I'm about to leave.
Alright, as you can see, I took them little sides off of it. Now this ring right here, it's pretty much finished. All we got to do is send it through the little polishing. It's got to be shined up on the big machine to give it a nice slick look. After that, it's done, and it's going back to the customer. This one just happens to belong to a Susan Hoss, also, or something like that. And I think she'll really be proud of it when she sees it. It's going to be a nice looking ring. Thank you for watching. This is JewelryRepairShop.com, Louisville, Kentucky, for Staples Jewelry, 502-425-2302. If you need anything done, give us a shout. Thank you for watching my video.